Hello everyone, I hope you are doing great. In my previous lecture video, I had discussed about physical vapor deposition nanomaterial synthesis processes. In this lecture video, I will discuss about chemical vapor deposition nanomaterial synthesis processes. So let's get started. Subscribe to Dr. Khalkar's classroom channel and press the bell icon to get latest updates. The content of this lecture video is as follows. I will explain about chemical vapor deposition processes for nanomaterials, which includes atmospheric pressure chemical vapor deposition, low pressure chemical vapor deposition, metal organic chemical vapor deposition, and plasma enhanced chemical vapor deposition processes. Now, first of all, let's try to understand what is chemical vapor deposition process, that is CVD. CVD is a vacuum deposition method used to produce high quality, high performance solid materials. The process is often used in semiconductor industry to produce thin films. Chemical vapor deposition, that is CVD, is a parent to a family of processes whereby a solid material is deposited from vapor by a chemical reaction occurring on or in the vicinity of a normally heated substrate surface. The resulting solid material is in the form of thin film, powder, or single crystal. By varying experimental conditions, including substrate material, substrate temperature, and composition of reaction gas mixture, total pressure, gas flow, etc., materials with a wide range of physical, tribological, and chemical properties can be grown. A characteristic feature of CVD technique is its excellent throwing power, enabling the production of coating of uniform thickness and properties with a low porosity even on substrate of complicated shape. Another important feature is the capability of localized or selective deposition on a patterned substrates. Chemical vapor deposition and related processes are employed in many thin film applications, including dielectrics, conductors, passivation layers, oxidation barriers, conductive oxides, tribological and corrosion resistant coatings, heat resistant coatings, and epitaxial layers of microelectronics. Other CVD applications are the preparation of high temperature materials, for example tungsten, ceramics, etc., and the production of solar cells, high temperature fiber composites, and particles of well-defined sizes. Recently, high critical temperature superconductors and more recently carbon nanotubes have also been made by this technique. Since oxygen activity in the vapor can be precisely controlled during the deposition, no annealing in oxygen is needed to achieve superconductivity. A simplified concept diagram of chemical vapor deposition is shown in this figure. A typical CVD system consists of the following parts, which are sources and feed lines for gases, mass flow controllers for metering the gases into the system, a reaction chamber or reactor, a system for heating up the vapor on which the film is to be deposited, and temperature sensors. As shown in this diagram, a CVD consists of a reaction chamber made up of quartz tube surrounded by heating coils, which is embedded in furnace. Sample loading door and gas inlet and outlet are attached to the ends of quartz tube. Pressure sensor is provided to monitor the pressure inside the quartz tube. In typical CVD, the vapor, that is the substrate, is exposed to one or more volatile precursors which reacts or decompose on the substrate surface to produce the desired deposit. Frequently, volatile byproducts are also produced, which are removed by gas flow through a reaction chamber. A typical chemical vapor deposition system is shown in this picture. Chemical vapor deposition results from the chemical reaction of gaseous precursors at a heated substrate to yield a fully dense deposit. Thermodynamics and kinetics drive both precursor generation and decomposition. Control of thermodynamics and kinetics through temperature, pressure, and concentrations yields the desired deposit. Now let's see the growth mechanism in chemical vapor deposition process. A basic CVD process consists of following steps, which are illustrated in this diagram. A predefined mix of reactant gases and diluent inert gases are introduced at a specified flow rate into the reaction chamber. The gas species moves to the substrate. The reactants get absorbed on the surface of the substrate. The reactants undergo chemical reactions with the substrate to form the film, and the gaseous byproducts of the reactions are dissolved and evacuated from a reaction chamber. For metal deposition, metal halides, which are in gaseous phase, turns into metal which is in solid phase, plus it gives byproducts in gaseous phase. For the ceramic deposition, metal halides in gaseous phase plus oxygen or carbon or nitrogen or boron source in gaseous phase gives ceramics in solid phase plus byproducts in gaseous phase. In this diagram, reagent in gaseous phase, adsorption and surface reaction, and film growth and release of volatile byproducts are shown step by step. Now let's see few advantages of chemical vapor deposition processes. CVD has low equipment cost compared to the vacuum processes. Large area uniformity achieved through control of temperature and gas flow. Simplified process control and source replacement. It can be used for a wide range of metals and ceramics and can be used for coatings or freestanding structures. Fabricates net or near net complex shapes. It is self-cleaning, extremely high purity deposits, nearly 99.99% purity. It conforms homogeneously to contours of substrate surface. It has near theoretical as deposited density. It has controllable thickness and morphology. It forms alloys. In CVD, inflates fiber performs and foam structures. It coats internal passages with high length to diameter ratios. CVDs can simultaneously coat multiple components, and it also coats powders. So these are the several advantages of chemical vapor deposition processes. Now let's see different types of chemical vapor deposition processes. There are main three types of CVDs, which are atmospheric pressure CVD, that is APCVD, low pressure CVD, that is LPCVD, metal organic CVD, that is MOCVD, and plasma enhanced CVD, that is PECVD. So let's see all these processes in detail one by one. First of all, let's see atmospheric pressure chemical vapor deposition, that is APCVD. APCVD is a CVD method that normal pressure, that is atmospheric pressure, which is used for deposition of doped and undoped oxides. The deposited oxide has a low density and the coverage is moderate due to relatively low temperature. APCVD is a thin film deposition process with typically high deposition rates. APCVD systems are used to deposit a layer of material typically several micrometers thick onto vapors or on other types of substrates. They are used to grow epitaxial films of silicon, compound semiconductors, silicon dioxides, anti-reflection coatings, and transparent conductive oxides, that is TCO coatings. APCVD is also used as a surface finishing process for items such as tools and turbine blades to improve lifetime and performance. A typical illustration of horizontal APCVD reactor is shown in this diagram, where vacuum and exhaust are shown, and in the reaction chamber, which is horizontal reactor, which includes vapors, that is the substrate, and the heating system is shown here. The actual horizontal reactor or the reaction chamber is shown in the nearby picture. Now let's see low pressure CVD, that is LPCVD. A typical schematic of horizontal LPCVD reactor is shown in this picture, and the actual picture of the system with the vapors as the substrates are shown in the nearby picture. LPCVD deposition systems typically operate at pressures that range from 0.1 to 10 torr. Reactor configurations that have been used for LPCVD thin film processes include resistance heated tubular hot wall reactors, vertical flow batch reactors, and single vapor reactors. LPCVD horizontal hot wall tube reactor, as shown in this schematic, these reactors could process 100 or more than 100 vapors simultaneously and were very successful in depositing LPCVD silicon oxides, silicon nitride, and polysilicon thin films. LPCVD reactions for these films require temperatures that range from 425 degrees Celsius, that is for silicon oxide, low temperature oxide, that is LTO we can say, to the 740 degrees Celsius, that is for the silicon nitride, with occasional processes running at greater than 800 degrees Celsius, for example silicon dioxide and HTO, that is high temperature oxides. These process temperatures are achieved using resistive electrical heaters. The precursor gas in this equipment configuration is fed into the reaction chamber using either an inlet at the front of the tube or long injector tubes which lie on the bottom of the tube and run the length of the boat of vapors. MOCVD is a method used to produce a single or polycrystalline thin films. It is a process for growing crystalline layers to create complex semiconductor multilayer structures. In MOCVD, ultra-pure precursor gases are injected into a reactor, usually with a non-reactive carrier gas. This is a technique for depositing thin layers of atoms onto a semiconductor vapor. In the metal organic chemical vapor deposition technique, reactant gases are combined at elevated temperatures in the reactor to cause a chemical interactions resulting in the deposition of materials on the substrate. A reactor is a chamber made up of material that does not react with the chemicals being used. It must also withstand high temperatures. This chamber is composed by reactor walls, susceptor gas injection units, and temperature control units. Usually the reactor walls are made up of stainless steel or quartz. Ceramics or special glasses such as quartz are often used as the inner in reactor chamber between the reactor wall and the susceptor. To prevent overheating, cooling water must be flowing through the channels within the reactor walls. A substrate sits on a susceptor which is at a controlled temperature. The susceptor is made from a material resistant to the metal organic compounds used. Using MOCVD, you can build up many layers, each of precisely controlled thickness, to create a material which has specific optical or electrical properties. Using this technique, it's possible to build a range of semiconductor photodetectors and lasers, the devices that lie at the heart of the information revolution. It uses organometallic source gases. Reactants are volatile at relatively low temperatures. It can grow high-quality epitaxial films at nanometer scale. Both the reactants and the byproducts can be hazardous in this process. A typical picture of MOCVD reaction chamber is shown here. Now finally, let's see the plasma enhanced chemical vapor deposition process, that is PECVD. PECVD is a process by which thin films of various materials can be deposited on substrate at lower temperatures than that of standard CVD. A typical schematic of plasma enhanced CVD and its real picture of system are shown here. The PECVD takes place at 250 to 350 degrees Celsius. Due to low temperatures, the process gases cannot be decomposed thermally. With a high frequency voltage, the gas is transformed into a plasma state. The plasma is energetic and deposits on the surface. Single vapor process chambers for PECVD look somewhat similar to those of LPCVD. As shown in this figure, a schematic that illustrates the characteristics of a single vapor plasma chamber. As with the single vapor LPCVD chambers, the precursor gas is fed to chamber using a shower head arrangement to ensure uniformity of precursor concentration over the vapor phase. Direct exposure RF, that is radio frequency. PECVD systems typically employ the shower head as an electrode for introduction of radio frequency energy to create the plasma. Precursor entering the plasma undergoes electron-molecule collisions, producing high-energy excited molecules and molecular fragments that absorbs on the substrate surface and deposits the film. Like LPCVD systems, the vapor sits on a heated plate and byproducts gases are exhausted through ports below the vapor level. Now let's see the comparison between APCVD, LPCVD, MOCVD and PECVD with their advantages, disadvantages and applications. Let's see first APCVD. It is a simple, fast deposition and low temperature CVD, whereas it has limitations that poor step coverage and contamination. It is used to deposit low temperature oxides. Next is LPCVD. With the help of LPCVD, we can get the excellent purity and uniformity. It is good step coverage and large vapor capacity can be deposited. But the disadvantage is that it works at high temperature and it has slow deposition rate. It is used at high temperatures oxides such as silicon nitride, polysilicon, tungsten and tungsten disilicates. Next is MOCVD. With the help of MOCVD, we can precisely control the thickness and can build up many layers. But in MOCVD, the reactants which are used are volatile and dangerous. MOCVD is mostly used for the semiconductor photodetectors and lasers depositions. And finally, let's see PECVD. PECVD normally works at low temperatures and it has a good step coverage. In PECVD, the chemical and particle contamination is the big problem. PECVD normally used to deposit the materials at low temperatures such as insulators over metals, nitride passivations, etc. So these are the important comparison points between all these four deposition processes. This is all about chemical vapor deposition processes. In my next lecture video, I will discuss about applications of nanomaterials, nanotechnology in various fields. So please don't miss my next lecture video. Thank you. Below this video, in the description, the link of important information related to this video is given. Please go through it. Please like and share this video and subscribe to Dr. Khalkar's Classroom channel to get the notifications about my upcoming videos. Thank you.